Hi guys, my name is Megan. I'm from Realizing Equilibrium, and today's prayer tip is about how to enjoy prayer. Some scriptures like pray without ceasing can be quite intimidating when we run out of words or we don't know how to genuinely enjoy our relationship with God. But I can safely say that the time that we do not feel like it is mostly the times when we don't see clearly the goodness of God. And I mean, the goodness of God is meaningful, not just for the mundane, or at least not just for the pedestal moments, but also for the mundane moments that literally is most of our life. And I'm certainly on my own journey with it, but I'm certain that the times when I don't feel like it are mostly the times that I cannot see God's goodness and how meaningful that is, even for my everyday life. And so, just like Jesus, when he denied the food that the disciples wanted to bring to him in John chapter 4, and turned that whole denial into an object lesson, saying that his real food is to do the will of the Father. Similarly, we look to that and we ask, what is it about God, and what is it about the will of God that we would want to do, or that Jesus preferred to do even above a lekker meal? So, prayer tip number 1, establish in your heart who and what God is. And obviously it would really help to know what the Bible actually says about this, and not just some of the things that we've heard our friends or our pastors say about God. Hebrews 11 verse 6 says that now when we come to God, we must first believe that he exists. So what about God do we actually believe? Ephesians 1 verse 4 to 5 says that God decided to accept us through Jesus Christ even before the world began. It even says that it gave him great pleasure to do so. And so knowing this means something for my attitude when I come to God, because believing that he's accepted me helps me to realize that when I come to him, or when I'm in fellowship with him, he actually wants me there. And that helps me to enjoy it so much more. Tip number 2, remember the guarantees. Hebrews 11 verse 6 continues to say that he is a rewarder of those who seek him. And what a blessed assurance we have that God rewards our desire to connect with him. Our need and desire for God is met with a promise. We enjoy it most when we realize that we don't need to beg God. Our prayer life is just to come and agree with the goodness and with the justice of God, because he wants abundant life for us, more than we could even ask of him. And lastly, tip number 3, the most enjoyable thing about communion with God is that we can come just as we are. Hebrews 11 verse 6 concludes with God being the rewarder of those who seek him diligently. That's the criteria. We don't need to be anything else except diligent seekers of God in sincerity, with no pretense. The best part about our communion with God is when our weakness and our inabilities collide with his sufficient grace. Now, this can be really daunting. Of course, the level of vulnerability that takes can be daunting, but we don't have to fear that vulnerability, because God's grace will always catch us and will always lead us home.